drain. There are some bent bars in the storm drain. You saw them just sort of easily ducking into it. They're small, sleek-looking things.
Look for some of their hair, if you could.
Yeah, give me a perception check, I guess, or a survival, whichever's higher.
Akka is going to try to survival. Akka's like, the fuck was
hair?
not...
He's looking around, but he doesn't seem to be taking it too seriously. 16?
You're not.
Yeah, you find some of their tracks, but you don't find any of their like hair specifically. There is a tuft of hair near the storm drain. I don't know how close you're getting to the storm drain. It's an ominous hole that leads into the dark bowels of Vatapole.
I saw it.
And it's just kind of like caught along the side. It's kind of like a clump of hair.
Yeah, no, I don't have mage hand.
Okay.
What a sucker. No, that's fine.
They were smart enough in that they didn't want to fight a dude that was invisible.
Yep. So I'm going to go over to this this factions sheet.
You do notice that a lot of the windows along the sides of these buildings in this courtyard are shuttered or barred.
I'm adding to the list of Vatapole stables, where it's not really the stables, it's a bunch of stuff. I'm adding the rat folk as a faction.
Sure. There was enough of them. Fucking 12.
Yeah,
12 of them.
Jesus Christ. The gang squad. How many are they? I don't care if they're one hit die. There's 12 of them. 12 plus rat folk in sewers. Okay.
You're kind of glad you brought Akka along.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, this is why it's like I'm mostly worried about some guy grabbing me, and then I don't know what to do at that point. Oh no, he's touching me! Make him stop touching me!
Well, it's an effective use of your invisibility spell, but at this point in time, it's running out.
Oh yeah, no, we're
after you went over and talked to them, and little... okay.
Yep, no, it's done. Yeah, no.
That might explain why the gnome might have been touchy.
Yeah.
They live next to a bad part of town.
Maybe they should get a rat slayer as opposed to a giant slayer, or the verminator. Get that wolf. Just let the wolf out here. The wolf will take care of it.
Oh, the vermintide all over.
Vermintide in the sewers. Oh god! It's gene stealers everywhere. Okay. We're going to make our way to the Monastery of Dissolution.
Okay. The neighborhood gets rougher and rougher. Almost like this was the beginning of the bad.
This is the tracks right here.
Yep. You're not near any gates to the city. You're at a place where the Black House resides. A lot of tenements and flats. A lot of people down on their luck, living far from the commercial activity of town. There is a really scabrous-looking whorehouse on the corner. I need a name for a whorehouse or a bordello.
Paradise, or Paradiso, or some happy name for the scuzzy place.
The Paradise Bordello might have been much nicer in its days, but the building exterior is kind of somewhat dilapidated. It may have even been like a fest hall in some day. You can hear some... yeah, it's at this time of day, there's not much activity out in the street.
All right.
This building's abandoned because there's a bunch of kids you can hear inside throwing rocks at things, breaking things.
Well, if we're gonna go all warriors in this, I know where to start recruiting. I'll tell Akka to keep an eye on that building for urchins.
Okay. The monastery dissolution, the doors are open. There's a heavy incense smoke that is coming out of it. You can see that there is a death cart outside, and the death cart is picking up a body. The body looks like it's a young man that's heavily bruised. Looks like his neck was snapped. There are some coins being. There might be some tattoos on his simple outfit.
Did he have the gladiator's mark?
Look, no, he did not.
Okay.
There is a priest that is taking some coin from one of their black-robed people. The doors are simply open. It doesn't look very active at this hour.
Okay. Ashoka will go up to the doors and give it a knock, even though it's open.
Yep. There's just a couple of people that are kind of intoning a weird chant, like throat chanting kind of thing. Weird smoke coming out of a heavily incensed brazier at the front of the room. Everything is got skull motif around that altar. Because one of the skulls has a red gem in its forehead. You do see that there is off to the side of like some skulls and holy symbols that there is a similar gift to the one that Phineas had bought for the Magister. Yep. There's this cowled man sitting in a seat. A little, like just a small idol, kind of off to the side at the front of the altar.
That might be one of those. Oh, what do they call it? Religious artifacts.
Okay, so you knock. No one comes rushing towards you.
Well, that's fine. I'm not in a rush.
Okay. Eventually, there's a guy who is. Tosses a bucket of water down and points to what obviously are two recruits that are now on their hands and knees sponging up some blood. The priest just drops the bucket beside them and looks towards you standing in the doorway. He wanders over to you.
Ashoka Maruya of the Conclave of the Crimson Scale.
Your name means nothing to me, is what he says.
Interesting. I have come to pay my respects to Xaturn, the leader of this monastic tradition, as I understand it.
1, he's actually within earshot. 3, he's busy doing something else. Okay, you don't see him. Yet you fear death. You hover across the threshold, as if merely stepping into this building invites your demise.
I will step into the building.
Okay. He looks at you, kind of gives you a huff, and then goes away. Hurry up! We've got other things for you to do. He goes over and starts yelling at these two guys that are cleaning up blood off the wooden floor. You notice by the multitude of stains that they never quite finished their job. There's dark stain here, dark stain there. Akka just kind of gives a sniff and then walks in. He says to you, Arithnal.
Yes. I worship death.
He wanders over to like a side shrine and actually gets down on his knees before it and starts to pray. Well, one knee, we'll say.
Maybe we could get these guys to come and be healers for us. I don't think Magnus would be upset with that at all. Okay.
The priest eventually leaves and then comes back, and he is like walking backwards and bowing as somebody else comes into the room. The guy that comes into the room is only about, with his pointy hat and pointy ears, maybe 5 feet. He's definitely a goblin that needs some tooth work or dental work. He's got all sorts of weird spines coming out of the sides of him. A strange cowl that is obviously magical. Yeah, something has been done to his ears, like some sort of wasting disease, or perhaps it's a deformity. He's got gemstones encrusted in various places. He's got this large staff that ends in this kind of bony claw that looks like it was from some creature. The priest nods towards him, or nods towards you.
Knowledge arcane or something for creature type, or is it not a... I recognize the claw.
He spills something onto the bracers. You're pretty sure it was like the innards of some creature. Like it could be a chicken, or it could be something else, but he just kind of plops it on top of the burning incense with a sizzle. He doesn't even bother wiping his hands. He just turns to you. Motions you forward towards the. Let's see if he knows who you are.
Conclave of the Crimson Scale.
I wondered when you would come. They all do. They all do in the end. And like psychopomps, we will lead them to where they need to go.
Yes, death is inevitable.
Death. Yes. The inevitability. Why do people fear it so? Why do they not give in? Why do you cling to this life? Nagaji?
If one does not fight for their life, their death has no meaning.
Wrong. Your body has uses after your death. The stronger you become, the stronger your offering to the gods. Souls are like muscles. They can atrophy. The stronger your soul, the stronger your vessel. The greater the sacrifice, the greater the offering, the greater it could become for the blessed.
But are all souls worth growing? Looks to the dead guy being death cart thing being cleaned up outside.
Interesting. Some true are cut down before they have a chance, while others do grow. We are not gods. We do not decide which flower survives the garden, which root takes shape ultimately in the end, although we can be gardeners, and sometimes we reap what we sow. Why have you come here? You seek death? No, too young. Much to live for, as you say.
Little evil Yoda motherfucker. Ashoka is going...
Dark side Yoda.
Yeah, this is dark side Yoda. I have come to understand where we sit moving forward. in the games which bring death to so many.
Yeah.
Motion to Akka praying before the thing.
Bring death to so many. A slow,
Also exercise
constant
souls.
death that is cheered by many. Never before have there been so many smiles on people's faces as souls are sent off to the old gods. This pleases Xaturn, as it must please the old. Crusty, scabrous, and bone-like deities of the afterlife. But to what end?
Ashoka looks at the depiction of the Undying Emperor.
You notice he did not point to that one.
Yeah. He looks at it for a moment and then shrugs.
To what end? Yes, perhaps he knows. Perhaps he has a plan.
I know of a great collector of death.
Collector of death.
Yes.
Explain.
An artist. A visionary. Someone I could see you agreeing with.
I care about the quotas. To become one of us, you must meet quotas. Do not think that we are going to ever lower ourselves to have a silly slapping match in front of the crowd's only death matches from our monastery.
With only death matches, how do you prevent souls from being destroyed before they are ready?
Again, we are gardeners, and we have some very good killers amongst our kind, and always there are fools to replace them.
You must have a hell of a dental plan.
You seem intrigued by the deities before you, death by many other names.
Yes. The... sorry, 1 second. I am having a derp. It's not the... It is the irrational, but...
It seems to call to you, doesn't it?
Vog Harkoon is not one of these guys. He's the guy who organizes the pit fights. He's also a worshiper of Erythnal.
Yep.
Did I see any of these people in the pit fights?
It was
not fighting, but...
There might have been, but...
Okay.
Not this guy directly.
Here is Erythnal, a god of slaughter. He looks upon those who are chattel, and only those strong enough should survive.
He also oversees the fights underground.
Yes. Pit fights.
Is there a connection between the priests who run that and this order? Or just fellow travelers?
Their leader once was one of us. He now arranges fights. He does not come here any longer.
Give me a sense motive.
I'm going to roll 2 times.
Oh, you're not sleeping now? Hey, Nemi. I see how it is.
19.
Yeah, there may be some animosity or history there. You're not sure.
Yep.
Incabulus, the Lord of Plague. He teaches that life is suffering, and that death can be sweet. Nerull, the god of death. He finishes the work that Incabulus does, and is the end result of Erythnul's rage. These are the triad here. These are for whom we give praise. There are others, but you must appease one of these 3.
You notice he didn't point to the Undying Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Or be well versed in something else. No, not for you yet. You are but learning the names of the old gods. From where do you hail that you do not know the names of death?
Empirica. Sorry, sorry, I lied. Yeah, he doesn't lie. He's it's Volcanica. Sorry, Volcanica.
Ah, an off-world. Interesting. Are these names of death not spoken there?
Truth be told, I had little care for the names of gods.
Yet you stand here with fascination in your eyes.
Yes, I
hear that you have many instruments of death in your ludus.
Yes.
A gargoyle. A dragon. A fire and destruction. Yes, even the dragons had their own god. Their own god of death.
Garrix. That's
No.
not, he's saying the god of destruction that the little dragon always says because he doesn't know that.
Garrix is a god of destruction, but it is not their god of death. Falazur is their god of death. Decay, exhaustion, and undeath. A wretched beast said to be creeping in the edges of the worlds, where dragons are, no longer able to fly, bloated on the corpses upon which he feeds. Garrix, however, is the death of many, but more of a storm or tempest of great fire. A dragon god of destruction, but strangely enough, also renewal.
Why does the Monastery of Dissolution bend knee to the Tower of Contemplation, at least in the eyes of the arena?
You come here asking very difficult questions. Have you been spying on us? First you mentioned the pits, and now my master. Are you looking to find your end sooner than later?
No.
Okay, he's mad.
He's mad. Yeah, well, yeah, yes. I'm looking to understand why the positioning is as it is. Obviously, those that worship death are better warriors than those who don't.
If you wish to help me, Ashoka, scowled one of the conclave of crimson scale, then you will go out into the city, and within 3 nights you will bring back a vital piece of someone you killed for no other reason than to kill it.
Ashoka has, like, the absolute most unfazed meh shrug you've ever seen. Meh shrug.
And we will see if the gods give you their blessing. And then we may talk of other things when you prove your worth.
Nemi really wants to join these guys.
The evil death guys? Yeah, of course. Sure, Nemi. There's some dude out there that's also part of the Black House. All right.
Okay.
As evil Yoda. Evil Yoda is your
evil
master.
Yoda. All right.
Do not think that killing some dog or cat will be good enough.
Oh no.
I will know the nature of this creature, and I will know by whose hand they were slain. No reason.
Ashoka puts the cantaloupe down on a table
Okay.
and walks out of the building.
Okay. The creepy little fucking goblin, you can feel his eyes following you. Akka gets up from his one knee, and you notice that he's wrapped up a finger, like he offered a little bit of blood at the shrine. He hands his weapons back to you as you leave the monastery. You realize he's been carrying these around. You feel the burning gaze of Xaturn just watching you go. Yeah, Ashoka's evil. There's an L-E in Ashoka's name, and looking at the prereqs for assassin as a
You gotta kind of just kill a dude for funsies.
No, that would be a reason.
Not even because it was fun. You have to kill a dude because somebody said go kill a dude. Yep.
Apparently, I can't copy and paste. Copy, paste. The character must kill someone for no other reason than to become an assassin.
Okay.
I don't think Adam knew that I was going to make this dude potentially the guy who trains him to become an assassin.
Nope. I just thought that it would be useful to know the evil pricks, just in general. Like, the good people tend to act slightly more predictably than the evil people, because every once in a while they go, "Fuck it, I'm evil. I do something crazy."
Frozen Gnome, how's it going?
Greetings, Mr. Gnome. There was a little prick gnome. Did you have any hand in the creation of Little Prick Gnome?
The stream created a lot of those characters that you met in the neutral monastery.
The little prick gnome was interesting. It's a dwarf. No, it's just
the nature oracle, the prick gnome, and the big scary orc were all randomly generated, and we all randomly generated a bunch of lawful neutrals. So we're like, these guys belong to this.
They're monks.
Yep.
Or whatever, monkish. Okay.
I like friendos.
Ashoka goes back home
Yeah.
and get some good nap in so that I can go out for some murdering and then...
All right, let's do some spreadsheeting, because we promised spreadsheets. This is part of the contract, the social contract about this game. There is a manage your sports team component to this. Apologize to those that don't find it exciting, but that is the way we set up this campaign. So I'm going to switch.
I did promise to do some prep for this, and I didn't because life kicked my ass.
So
one of the questions. So he's a veteran. All right. So Prentice Pennywise was appropriately tiered.
Let me go to my desktop only mode to see if I can get this big enough for us to share. Yeah, there are faces up in the corner, and chat's gonna look kind of silly, but...
So, Gnomes, if you had a session last night that was Easter themed, was it about death and resurrection, or was it about, like, bunnies and eggs and eating fish?
Why are those two things mutually exclusive?
You have to find the hidden egg of resurrection.
Okay, so we had some things that we were going to do for these guys. Magnus was going to spend time training for his level.
Mm-hmm.
I believe...
I think we all had to do that.
Yep. So, training. I guess Ashoka as well. You got a free little diplomacy thing in there. Then Sona was about to level up, I believe.
Yes, we had to pick a class for Sona.
Yep. Now,
Sona's
Foxfire had suggested that let's see if I can move the chat to a better location.
Like Magus?
Yeah, Foxfire had suggested doing some sort of like version of fighter, like a lore. What was it? Let me see. If I can find Twitch. There was a specific type of fighter. It was a lore warden field guide version.
Oh, Jesus. Give me a second. Lore warden field guide version. They get skills, but they must be spent on int skills. They don't get armor proficiency.
A mad gnome with a mechanical bouncy legs and a cape with ears placed explosive clockwork eggs around the city. We found... That sounds like an early Batman thing.
It's Batman.
It's Batman. Somebody watched like an early
Riddler
90s...
and Penguin teamed up.
We found all
awesome.
but one of them, and the last one killed the Empress. Empress died, but we saved the city, so that's nice. Also, why literally everything is so expensive in 3.5. It cost me 20,000, I'm assuming, to put a 5th level fireball back into a Staff of Power.
That's, yeah.
2,000 maybe?
It feels like somebody might have...
20 bucks? I don't know, you put the comma in a weird place, so I don't know what that number is, but I'm assuming it's lots. NPC spellcasting is expensive.
It's 10 times caster level times.
Yeah, but you would times spell level, but to do a staff, you probably need to hit the minimum caster level of the staff.
Well, usually the way it's actually supposed to work, we usually go like, oh, it's a second circle spell, they cast it as a third. But no, if you have a 20th level caster casting a second circle spell for you, it should be 2 times 20 times 10.
Okay, so is Sona training?
I'm just looking at this. It's got some maneuver stuff, combat expertise. I think we'd keep him going up Bard for now.
Yep. Does he have the ability scores for a Gestalt? Let me make this a little bit bigger.
He does have the ability scores for a Gestalt, and I think we should get him a Gestalt. But I think I think I would Gestalt him a fighter, maybe.
Make him just super awesome with the whip.
Yeah.
His name will be Whippicles. Okay.
Whippicles.
No, I'm Whippicles. No, I'm Whippicles. Yeah, 95 out of 84. His stats are brilliant. Okay, yep. So basically, you are training Sona. Given that Magnus and Ashoka and Phineas all need to train, you can't have your own. You can't train others while you yourself are being trained. So, out of your facilities, how many dice out of the regular training facilities of 3 are you spending on Sona?
Sona
he needs 3 successes.
2 successes. He's second right now.
Oh, right. He needs 2 successes.
Okay. Let's put 2 on him, and we'll move forward.
All right. Drull. I don't think Drull's ready to level up.
What did he do last time? He fought last time, didn't he?
Yeah. The only other person who's ready to level up is Fleas.
Okay. So we're going to entertain Drull.
Okay. How many dice out of your entertainment facilities?
We've got
4. You got 3 facilities and 1 personnel, so 4.
Okay, sorry, I bolded it. So apparently, when I bolded it, my brain was like, "I can't read that. It's bolded. How would I read this?" Yes. So 4 dice. Let's put 2 on him.
Okay. So while others can be entertained, you're just specifically doing things to help out Drulls. Right. Drain has fought. He is his morale is low, a little bit.
Yeah. So let's put a entertainment on Drain.
Okay, one die.
Yep.
And then Prentice, you just jammed back into that horrible cell after he did really well. Yeah, his morale is low. His attitude's pretty low. He's happy with the religion. A lot of the guys don't like especially like the 5-faced god. You can see some minuses in there. And the alignment of the Ludus currently is pretty good.
His body looks like it's fixed now?
Yep, yeah, he's healthy, but you've jammed him back into this horrible...
Okay, how do we attitude him? Or do we, like... Wait a sec, we have a dungeon. Do we dungeon roll him to make him like the dungeon more?
No. The dungeon's like security. It's kind of like making sure that he doesn't get out, and maybe like if you're trying to get information out of him, or you're trying to break him, yeah, he's not... You haven't treated him sort of very well. So I think morale needs to be fixed before the attitude can be.
Okay. So put an entertainment on him?
Okay.
So last entertainment?
So basically you've got some food and wine and women being brought to him while he's in his cell. You're trying to suck up to him a little bit with how much he did. Bull's doing okay. He's in the middle of strength training though.
Okay. Give him a strength train.
Okay, your training facilities only have 3 dice. So.
And we've used all 3, haven't we?
No, you've used 2. Yep.
We used 2. Okay, and we've got 3 guys that we want to train.
Yeah, Flea's in the middle of strength training. Aka's in the middle of strength training, and Flea's also needs to level train. Level 0 out of 2.
Okay, so...
And I gave it a thought. You asked me a question last time. How long does it take to upgrade the facilities? If you upgrade the facilities, it takes the same number of blocks of time to do as the new number. So if you're going to upgrade facility to 4, it takes up 4 blocks. You can still use the personnel and vice versa.
Can you still use the facility if, like, it's going from 3 to a 4? You can still use a 3?
No. For 4 blocks, you can't use the facility. Personnel, however, you can use.
So, can you build a secondary facility?
I guess so. You could have a backup training facility.
You can see what's going to happen, because we're going to get these things to like level 20. So 20 blocks is like a whole season, which when it comes to construction, that's not a big deal, but it's like...
Yeah, and then the winter season, there's no fighting.
Under construction for fall.
Right,
yeah.
And in the winter season, there's no fighting.
There also won't be any training.
Right. So yeah, you
Okay.
you could build multiple things, and I would also say that religious facilities or arcane facilities could be used for training, if you're trying to train in that type of class.
Cool. Which means that
So basically,
in a
training
second.
is really martial oriented at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, we're trying to train. Who are we training? Wait a sec. We were training Sona. Sona is an arcane caster, so we're going to train Sona through the arcane building.
okay, which has 2 dice.
Okay, so
Cool.
is that now A2?
Yeah, let's
Or
go
T2
AT2 or
or
something like that. Arcane training 2.
Okay. All right. So now we can go with Bull. Bull is a religious caster. I think.
Yes.
Okay, so Bull is going to train divinely, or he's going to train through the stable. So put him
Strength training
through-
has to be done through the stable.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, 1 dice, 1 dice, 1 dice. Because fleas is like, I hit things with a stick.
Okay. So you're going to try to complete the strength training on these guys.
Yeah, I'd like to clear them from the queue.
Okay. And then Vanu right now has got bad morale, bad attitude, doesn't necessarily like or hate the religion, but is overall cool with the alignment of the Ludus.
His status is just generally meh.
Yep.
And he is a Slayer. I don't think Slayers have spells.
No. He doesn't require any training, although he's probably doesn't have great ability scores.
And since he's not friendly to us or anything, I don't think we could probably utilize him to do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm assuming morale would have to be not negative for them to for us to use the gladiator as like an effective do a thing.
Yeah, although right now, Aka's really chafing with the religion. Him worshipping the chaotic evil destruction god, and you've got this font of five-faced god who sits the gladiators down every week and tries to do Sunday school. Yeah, it's not going over too well.
Don't worry, I'll keep bringing him over to the place with the guy. And
right.
We'll eventually trade him to Yoda, basically. Aka will eventually get traded to Yoda.
All right. How are you paying for your Ashoka, Magnus's, and Phineas's training?
With money.
With money? Okay.
Sorry, I forgot the...
I think it'll be 500 gold pieces per level.
Okay, so does that mean 2,500 right now, or does that mean 500, like 1,500?
Per the level that you are currently at, not what you're training to. So that would be
2,000 each.
2,000 each. Yep. And we could just call it done.
Okay, I will subtract 6 talents. That's all the money we made in the last.
It's going towards the masters and their expensive doodads and training. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Doesn't look like you're fighting any, so I think we could just basically adjudicate what this turn is and do the turn. So Ashoka is trained. I do need the...
There is a fight at the end of this block with Magnus, but we'd like for him to be trained before that fight. And when
he has to meet the people to do a thing. You haven't arranged...
he has to meet the people and go, look how buff I am, look how hard my nipples are, and then,
And then arrange the fight. That's fine.
Right.
Okay. So, Ashoka, I do need to know where you trained. Well, what were you training here? Sorcerer or rogue? Like who in the city is training Ashoka for money?
Ashoka would be trained by
Qued?
It would either be right now I think he's being trained by Qued.
Okay.
That's a good call, because I was trying to think, like, who are the arcane casters? Like, no, screw those knight people. They suck. Stupid maiden, broken shield.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep track of this somewhere. So under Intel, trainers of the masters.
And I think so. Quaid would have trained him as a rogue. I think
Ashoka is trained by Qued.
the sorcerer stuff just happens. It's not well understood.
Oh, he knows your abilities. He actually
yeah,
knows you're a sorcerer. Yep. Magnus is trained by the ladies of Maeve's school.
Just big sticks, titties flying every which way.
Oh my god. Maeve's fighting school. He does training with what's her name? Sonya. Who is actually a higher level fighter than Magnus is, so she can train him. Okay, and then 5th level Phineas. We need a good wizard name. Or an alchemist. Or maybe he meets the skin painter. Maybe Vestra Iral.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of push that, but he's like, I don't want to. And he had like performance anxiety or something. Or possibly the... Who was that really human-centric guy?
The Magister?
The Magistrate. I don't know if he just might be an aristocrat. I don't know. The Magistrate said, oh, I dabbled, but I wasn't very good at it.
Alright, he keeps to himself. It'll either be Vestra Iral or some random wizard. Vestra Iral is working on a contract for the same master of your Ludus. So there might be a connection
Possibly the pipe is talking to him, though.
The pipe?
Crack pipe just talking to him.
Alright, so you've spent some money to automatically train. I'm gonna say for simplicity that you can do that. You could have had your own facilities train your master. Like, you could have used the arcane facilities to train Phineas.
Yeah.
It would have taken multiple blocks to do.
Well, we have arcane facilities of not very much if Phineas is...
Yeah, you could have had your own fighting facilities train Magnus.
But all the gladiators train Magnus. Just punch him, beat him up until he's
right. He's out there training with his men, right? Yep. He's just doing things at a different phase. I'm fine with you guys spending a shit ton of money to make this happen. Okay, training happens for each of their masters. They are now 5th level. Sona, he needs 2 training successes in order to become a 3rd level bard. So give me 2. Oh, let me put up the
1 success.
The chat is so big. Move that here. You can see the chat.
Oh, we're chunking away time super fast. We might need to get like an Ashoka or a Phineas actually training them in the arcane ways.
Yeah, you could also have your masters help out with training, right? If you recall.
Right. Well, yeah. But
so
for the
1
arcane
success.
Guys,
okay, so train for a level. 1 out of 2. He's also halfway being entertained. Entertainment 2.
I'm not entertained. No.
Right. Entertainment 2 for Droll.
Come on, Droll. Get out of that funk. He's a little bit more, but not quite.
1 success on Droll.
He grinned a little bit, and then it went away.
Right. You're working away. You're chipping away at it. Drain has one entertainment point. Drain is a 2nd level guy, so you need to do 2 successes.
No, he's like, this is stupid.
Prentice Pennywise, you're sending down gifts and better food.
It'll take a whole season for this to work. I don't know if we're still counting to 6 or not. Like, I'm not quite certain how this works. But it's fine. Oh, he hates it. He's like, oh, this is...
yeah, shit. That would take for a long time, right? Maybe it's the number that you're in the hole for entertainment. So let me go back here.
Right.
Entertainment for Sona. He is down. He's not even down 1 anymore. You're just trying to make him really happy. Entertainment for Droll.
There was actually confusion at the beginning because we wanted to do entertaining, and then he's being entertained.
All right. Droll, we'll say, is lost his bad morale. And then you made 0 successes for Drain? Right?
Drain got no successes.
Okay.
And then Pennywise got no successes.
And Pennywise got 0 successes. Okay, that's fine. And then Bull, for strength training. He won't complete it, but we're looking for...
Nope.
Okay. Just pushing that wheel. Push that wheel harder.
Push the wheel.
Training for strength for Fleas.
Come on, Fleas. Yes.
Yeah, he makes it. Okay, you can update his strength, please. He still needs training for level. And then training for strength for Akka.
Okay. Akka, come on, Akka. Your ability scores suck. Nah, he's like, I had a cantaloupe and all of his muscles turned into flab.
All right. There was a 10% chance that there was a random event. We'll let the stream roll this one. D100, please.
Now, to be a cheese ball, the real question is, do we train the Gestalt before leveling up so that the Gestalt auto-trains as you go? The answer is yes. Yes, you do.
The answer is yes, you try to get this Gestalt before...
Right, because he's a Tempe.
Yep.
If he wasn't a Tempe, then you wouldn't do that.
All right, if there's no rolling from the stream, I will roll it. Fine, I'll do the rolling.
Wait a sec.
73. There is no random encounter, so it goes up 20%. What are you looking at?
I'm having a stupid. How many hit dice is Fleas? 1 hit die or 2 hit die? I think he just leveled to 2. Like, you're supposed to level to 2 hit die.
Yeah, I think you already leveled him ahead of his training.
Right, which means that strength success of 1 should have got him the strength.
Oh, right. Yep.
So this would have been a training success.
Correct.
So we've got the 1, and so he
level.
Should be
So he's oh, you gestalted him first?
Well, I would if that was an opportunity.
Yep. Yeah.
So he gets a gestalt, or he gets a true gestalt instead of this aristocrat bullshit.
Sure. That works.
Okay. Yeah. And his gestalt is going to be...
So he's only first level. He's not...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it saying, come on, everyone likes fleas. No, everyone doesn't like fleas.
He's going to be gladiator / gestalt something 1. I'll figure that out. It'll be a fightery based thing. He's got no mentals to do. Actually, he's charismatic. He's got 15 charisma.
And gladiator is his own class. He could have feats of the yang if he went fighter.
If he goes fighter, it's just all the feats. It'll either be fighter or bard, I guess.
The bard Nerull? Just banging pots? It's the dinner time song. It's just always about eating.
It'll be one of the two.
Okay. Funny.
It'll be something fun.
Okay, Magnus is brought before these monks to basically show his martial display. They bring out like training dummies, and they have some like non-lethal sparring with other people. For Magnus, Magnus is a Gestalt character who's pretty good at punching, although he's not a monk. We'll say that he's got 5 dice to play with, and he is up against equivalent level monks. We'll see how he does it in the sparring. This is like the pre-match match. So why don't we just roll d6s for Magnus, since Ahmed isn't here. All right, so we've got some monks.
He gets 1 success. Oh, he gets his shit pushed out. Oh, my god, he's fucking exploded.
Oh no, Magnus. All right, so they kind of gauge his ability. They realize that he is not a monk.
Next time I get to wear my armor, this is a bunch of bullshit. Over here, they jump around, they flip. It's not, my armor.
Exactly. He showed up basically with no armor, ready to have a good fucking boxing match, and they're flipping and kicking and like tripping and.
The balls.
So they agree that because of this, they agree that Magnus is allowed to wear his armor, and that he's allowed to go into the ring with a quarterstaff.
All right, this is better. Nobody saw that. There's no girls watching.
All right. They are going to put him up against. Let's see. Tenzin the Giant Killer wants to fight him real bad.
That is absolutely hilarious. Is he any good?
Yeah.
Because if Magnus loses in the arena to a midget...
They're definitely not going to put them up against their champion after seeing Magnus.
Well, he just got his ass handed to him. He showed
right.
up and was like,
and the Oracle doesn't fight without his wolf. That might not be fair.
Oh, in the future we'll do a bull Oracle duel off. It'll be awesome.
Tenzin the Giant Killer wants to fight a Magnus in a non-lethal match. It wasn't Tenzin that beat him up. It was just like a bunch of. It was like a bunch of like they went up the ranks of the belts.
Gumbies.
Yeah, exactly. He got swarmed by Gumbies and got tripped and that sort of thing.
This is bullshit.
That
is bullshit.
Fucking monks. Little fuckers dancing around. Oh, poor Ahmed.
The goal isn't even to do like an Arnold accent, it's to do Ahmed's Arnold accent.
Right, come on. Those are fair all. Wow. All right.
Good fight, yeah, but need armor.
Yeah, you can bring his armor and a quarterstaff. I don't think they realize what they did though, because I think you can two-hand a quarterstaff. Yeah.
Oh, he gets 1.5 is gonna boom.
Yep.
Gonna break the quarterstaff over some dude's head.
They're willing to have this match in whatever block you want. The next match between your two houses will be Magnus and them.
Okay. Well, we're approaching a third of the way through the season.
Yes.
We're in fact we're a sixth of the way through the season, and we need to get 2 more fights in for all of our gladiators, and Sona needs 3.
Yes, Sona is on injured reserve for three blocks. So this next block he comes off injured reserve, and you need to send someone back down to Tempe.
So
unless you still claim he's on injured reserve.
So in so on the next block he can fight.
Yep.
Okay.
But you're sending someone down.
Yeah. Well, who's the one we temporarily bumped up? Did we bump up Vanu? Or was it Akka? It was Bull. We bumped up Bull.
Right. Okay.
So Bull goes back down. Sona comes up because he needs to get 3 fights in.
Yep.
Like we're basically making him one of the friggin' masters if we're not careful here. We gotta get him in there to do stuff. I think the next block we need another. We need some fights. We need income coming in. So in the next block we've got fighting happening. So we need to line up a fight. We need to line up a Pennywise fight, as well as a.
I guess during this turn you could have also rolled